we must begin to think. We absolutely must begin to think. Now, I have a drawing here. I was taught at a very early age that attitude is everything. Earl Nightingale calls it the magic word, and he's right. You know, it took me a while to understand what attitude is. I'm of the opinion right now that a good percentage of the population in any country, if you ask them what attitude is, they'll stop and they'll think for a while, and they won't really be sure. I'm going to show you what it is. First of all, let's go back to the drawing. We'll say that circle represents your mind, and this circle represents your body. Now, your mind is broken into two parts. The top half is the conscious mind, the bottom half is the subconscious mind. Now, there's a power flowing into our consciousness, and it never stops. And when that power flows in, we can build any picture out of it we want. That's where we think. And then we turn those thoughts over to our subconscious mind, and that instantly sets up a vibration in the body. See, the body's already vibrating. The body's a mass of molecules in a very high speed of vibration. And it's the thoughts that you think that dictate how you feel. Now, feeling is conscious awareness of vibration. And it's the vibration we're in that dictates how we act, but it also dictates what we attract. And you see, it's the action and attraction that controls our results. Now, attitude is our position or bearing as indicating thoughts, feelings, and actions. The thoughts that you think, you send off into the universe. The feelings that you experience, you're sending off into the universe. And of course, your actions. Now, the thoughts that you think are going to come back, so are the feelings and so are the actions. Attitude is a position or bearing as indicating, or as thoughts, feelings, and actions. It's all three parts of our personality. We've got to control our thinking. All the great leaders all down through history have taught us that. Now, when we start talking about our thinking, we want to think about ourselves. What do you think of you? What do you know about you? There's three essential questions. Here's one. How does self-image impact my life? Number two, how is self-image formed? And number three, how is self-image changed? Alfred Adler said something that I just absolutely love, and I've sort of taken ownership of this from him. I am grateful to the idea that has used me. I am grateful to the idea that has used me. Okay? You have in your subconscious mind an image of you. And that image controls your behavior and it controls your results. So it's mighty important you start to understand that. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people don't. There's a lot of kids in school having difficulty with grades in school, and their problem isn't in their intellect. Their problem isn't with the subject they're dealing with. Their problem's with themselves. They don't understand the self-image. Neither does the parent. So stay with me here. Psycho-Cybernetics is a phenomenal book by Maxwell Maltz, a cosmetic surgeon. He was doing reconstructive surgery. Let's suppose a person had a very distasteful scar on their face. He removed the scar, and he noticed there was not only a change in the person's appearance, but he said there was a change in their image that they had. Their behavior, how they thought about themselves changed. But he said this didn't always happen. Sometimes, regardless of how successful the change was in the physical, there was no change in the psyche of the person. He said that led him to postulate that we have two images. We have the one that first comes back from the mirror when we stand in front of it, and then there's one inside. This is a great book to help you understand that. Ask is a phenomenal book because most people never learn how to ask. It's so strange. We should willingly give and graciously receive, but we should never, ever, ever be reluctant to ask anyone for anything. Asking is something we must learn. Mark Victor Hansen, who's a very good friend of mine, and Crystal Hansen, his wife, they're just a phenomenal couple, and they're a great pair, and they've put this book together. It's a phenomenal book. It'll answer almost any question you've got about asking. I want to suggest you get them and add them to your library. What we're talking here about is growth. And for growth, you need change. So you have to make up your mind you're going to change. There's no question about it. Now look at this. We have one life so far as we know. One life. It's all about lifestyle. Okay? It's about contribution. It's about how we spend our days. This is so important. It's so important. And it's all dependent on how we see ourselves, our own self-image. If we have low self-esteem, we're sunk. When I first started to read this book, I had very low self-esteem. I was a very insecure human being. Totally. Today, I've got a pretty good opinion of me because I've started to understand me. And as we understand ourselves, everything starts to change.